I am back and hopefully it's working. So I'll wait for all of you to come back. It's Marilyn and Lori. This is part 2 of getting unstuck. Definitely go back and look at my other video, checking my page because I'm not seeing it yet. Watch, it's on the wrong page. Hold on. Let me refresh. Yeah, great topic. We're talking about getting stuck and it gets stuck. And I don't think it's Facebook, actually. I think it might be Live, which I've got a bone to pick from them. So let me see. Here we are. Okay, great. So I'm working both screens. All right, great, guys. So come back on, and I'm going to finish telling you the story that I was telling you that I feel is really important for you to learn what I was talking about. And let's continue this conversation about getting unstuck. Yeah, the video got stuck. Ha, ha, ha. Guides are like telling us something there. But you notice I don't get upset about it. There's nothing you can do. Like I just get back on it. I'm getting a text from Megan Lane, who's in my membership, and she's a psychic, and she's so sweet. She always texts me to tell me what's going on. And it's great, but I can't do anything about it if people can't find the link and, all that, whatever. I'm doing the best I can. So you're back. Yes, I'm back. Hey, Sue. Hey, Adina. Hey, Claudia. Hey, Sue. Get back on here because this is super important stuff for you guys. So I was telling a story and I want to tell it because I want complete friggin' transparency when I work. I don't like anything other than transparency. So I had this abundant living for your guys class, right? And, I sold it already on membership as a bonus. So we already had like 250 people signed up for it. But when I put it together and I put the product page together and I put it out there into the ethers, into the world, into you guys, like nobody purchased. And we were like, what's going on? My list is like 20,000 people and I have all these different social media. So I'm like, what's going on that people aren't purchasing abundant living with your guides when I know this is where they're stuck, right? That class was awesome. Thanks, Sharon. Woohoo! This is not a sales pitch for that class. I am sharing a business owner thing with you. So it affected me for about a minute. And what it did for me, which is what I want to teach all of you, I didn't get stuck. I didn't get upset. I didn't get like, why is this happening? Frig, what's going on here? Instead, I said, what's going on here? What am I not giving my audience that they need? What am I not understanding that they need? What's going on with them? And then I started doing a little research, and I know you're going to relate to this. And trust me, I'm going to give you tips and tools, and I'm going to answer your questions. So stay tuned. What I recognized was my audience is largely made up of spiritual entrepreneurs. And a lot of you are probably on the telesummits, which I have nothing against. I'm on John Burgos. I'm probably going to be on a Roms again. I'm very picky about the ones I'll be on, right? But what happens is you get overwhelmed. You get all these incredible people out there and not so incredible people, because some of them I don't friggin' like, I'm going to be honest, that I think are full of beeswax. But I don't know if beeswax might be a cool thing. But you're like, this is answering the question. This person is saying they're going to solve this. This person is saying they're going to solve that. This person is going to say, and you're like, I need solving in all those areas. So you purchase these products and then you don't do it because you're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know which product to start with. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then you get completely overwhelmed because the dream, you've heard me talk about this, and I'm going to go further on, but I'm trying to make a content building thing with Facebook right now with you guys, since I'm going live every week. Next week is going to be recorded because I'm going to be away. But with that said, so you have these big dreams in your heart and you're like, how do I get dream A to dream Z, really making it happen? It's so big. It's bigger than life right now. How do I make it happen? And you don't know how. You get so frozen. And then you got this incredible class from this healer, this incredible class from this medium, this incredible class from this business coach. And you're like, I don't know what to do first. So you stay stuck. You don't do anything. How many of you can honestly tell me right now that, and I'm going to get to your questions, but can you tell me honestly, how much has changed in your life over the past 6 months? That's what I want to hear. Because, and a lot of you are in membership, so I want to hear from you too, because you're really working with me. I know that in January, I set out to make many changes in my life, right? Here we are 6 months in. And I know for me, I'm definitely on track. I am working it. How am I working it? Well, I have schedules. I use my Google Calendar. I have goals. I do visioning. I get in touch with my guides constantly. I'm making sure that I'm taking the right steps. What's happening for me now is that I'm getting a lot of opportunities that I want to say yes to, and I can't because I got to say no to some things. And what's also happening is the things that are in habit that I'm used to doing, I have to start getting rid of. Because they're not, I need to make space and time in my calendar to do the content building for people in Membership for Your Soul so I can accelerate them and for all of you and to do all the live free stuff that I want to give. Because not everybody can afford a program again, right? So how do I address all of everyone? Because everybody who comes and works for me, whether you buy from me or not, you have to get something from it. Otherwise, it's not worthwhile for me. And I learned this from Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield, if you don't know her, is an incredible marketing coach. And she does a lot, marketing coach, marketing person. She has an incredible podcast. And she gives a ton of for free. And I buy her programs because I'm like, if this chick is giving this stuff for free, I can't even imagine what her programs are like. And she says in her programs, honestly, and I believe her because I'm in her groups now, I don't care whether they buy from me or not. I just have to make sure they're getting something when they walk away. I want them to be wowed, and this is important. So let's talk. So I'm going to go through your questions first because I want to see what's going on. And then I want to do a visual. I want to talk to you about what is the biggest tool to get you unstuck. And I also want to tell you something that I've been doing for the past 3-4 days that's really helping me. So Sylvie says, I'm listening to the classes, doing homework, but not making any progress. That's not okay for me, Sylvie. So I want to know why you aren't making progress, where you feel you're stuck, and why you're making progress, why you're not making progress. Okay. Just want to see somebody else with your content. Amazing. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa says, I'm stuck in where to live. Choices are not all great. I got a promotion at work. Money is good. Family is another story. Great. So Lisa is showing you, and a lot of you are going to relate to this, she's got different areas. She's stuck in where to live. Family is not great. Work's okay. Money is good. So she's got a couple of areas that are vying for her attention. I want to live, family. How many of you've got career, love? Liat said that, right? So how do we handle it when we have like all these multiple things that are trying to get our attention? So we'll address that. Right. Andrew says lots, but also overwhelmed, too slowly moving forward. Yes, overwhelm is a huge one that I'm addressing in Membership for Your Soul because I'm so tired of it. Sharon says very little, but having more awareness. I trust the changes. Love that, but still stuck. So Sharon, no longer allowed, especially if you're in my programs. I want to know what you feel the most stuck in. Great. More of releasing the blocks to find that dream and my passion again. Great. Okay. So, job. Sue says, I'm overwhelmed with my job. When I decide to start on my path, work goes crazy. Great. How many of you can relate to that? Sylvie says, because I want to go back to her, not really hearing, seeing, feeling the guides, which leads to frustration. Great. I'm going to start with Sylvie a second. Okay. And then I want to go into something for everybody. Sylvie, anybody out there, especially if you're working with your guides. If you're working, she says she's studying all the programs, she's studying everything, but she's not really hearing, seeing, feeling her guides, which leads to frustration. So what happens with that, Sylvie, and for anybody who's struggling with this, is that you get focused on frustration more than you get focused on the open window, the window that they're really trying to open, Sylvie. So it just keeps you stuck. So last night, I was listening to a Hicks video, and this guy was really stuck in abundance. And Abraham said to him, you can't worry about all the stuck energy and how to figure that out right now. You have to find the one thing that you're not worried about and you have to focus on that. Even if it's unrelated, that's the thing you have to focus on. So I'm going to ask all of you right now, where is the one area where you don't feel stuck? Or where is the one area, especially you, Sylvia, I want to hear from you. Where is the one area where you feel that you have some movement in, even if the movement is, hey, Marilyn, I'm engaging. I'm doing it. I'm there. I'm doing it. I understand frustration, but this is what I'm going to tell you as a spiritual teacher for almost 14 years now. What I have seen in my students, what keeps them stuck is them focusing on being stuck. It leads into low self-worth. They feel like they're not good enough, that they're not getting it, that everybody else is getting it, that they suck. They think they're not gifted enough. They think that Spirit just doesn't want to talk to them. What they're missing, and Sylvia, I'm not saying this is you, I'm using you as a teaching tool, so please know that. What is missing is consciousness, awareness. So the biggest tool I'm giving all of you today for being unstuck is awareness, self-awareness. Before we meet, so next week I'm going to have to probably record the video, or I may not go live next week. I have to figure it out because I'm going to be away. But for part 2 of this, because I want to keep building on this, I don't want to be just coming on live and not talking about things. You know, I want us to grow together. Part 2 is going to be, how can you be more self-aware in your life? So I'm going to go to your Q&A in a second, but let me just share a couple of things that I feel are really going to motivate you into action and build momentum. For me, what has happened for me is when I'm stuck and unfocused and feeling really scared, I'm out of my self-awareness. I'm in my old story. I'm in a bunch of bull crap that doesn't friggin' work for me. So I then get clear. I get self-aware. I get focused. I write down my goals, whether I'm frustrated in them or not. I write down a day in the life, or a lot of you know what that is. A day in the life is when you write down your day a year from now, where you're living the dream of your life, you know, and you write it down from morning to night. I get aware about how I'm feeling, who's distracting me, who's bothering me, where do I feel like I'm lacking, where do I feel like I need to motivate more, do I need to stop that emotional eating that's not helping me, do I need to stop watching TV for 4 hours or getting sucked into Facebook. I don't necessarily do that because I'm pretty routined with my work. So, and then I work on those things. Self-awareness, consciousness is the key to healing. It is the main thing. So Sylvie, all of you, I want to know from all of you right now, Sylvie especially, because I'm just working with her and I'm using her as a teaching tool. And for some reason, Spirit just took me to her. Where are you self-aware? And where do you feel like you can congratulate yourself? I want to hear that from all of you. Because if we just stay, like Hicks said, in this, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to miss the white butterfly that's going by your house. You're going to miss the lesson from the podcast that you're listening to, or even who you're supposed to go listen to. You're going to miss the thing that your guide is giving you, the song or the vision that they're giving you. You're going to miss the feeling in your heart. Many times, if you're frustrated from seeing, hearing, and sometimes feeling the messages, I would suggest go to feeling first. Because feeling, somebody said, I believe it was Sharon, who said, lacking joy or lacking that feeling. I can't remember who it was. And that's exactly where you want to go. You want to feel the feeling inside your heart. What makes you happy? What makes you feel joyful? I think it was Sharon. She said she doesn't even know what she wants to do. So the first thing you're going to do until we meet again is you're going to become self-aware. And what I want from you is every morning when you wake up, I want you to notice how you talk to yourself. And then what I want you to do before you get out of bed is I want you to make a statement to the universe. I want you to make a statement of, hi, universe, I really, truly want to find the love of my life. I'm frustrated in this area. Maybe it's been 15 years since you've had someone. Maybe it's been 20. Maybe it's been 2. Maybe it's been never. But I want to find the love of my life. And I'm asking you to make me self-aware of what I need to do around this issue. And I want to come closer to you in a healthy and healing way. So please help me to learn through observation and not necessarily through experience. And what that means is many of you open up to Spirit and you have this roller coaster effect thing that happens. We want to stop that. Self-awareness stops that. When you're calling me or emailing me or texting me or whatever it is, or writing on Facebook and saying, I opened up to Spirit and my life got so much harder. You know why? You're not in self-awareness. Because Spirit said, all right, we heard your call, but now they're going to hit you over the head constantly to wake you up. So get self-aware. Then I want you going through your day And the first thing I'd love for you to do is to journal in the morning about what you want, a goal. Just write what you talked about in the universe. I don't care if it's a 2-minute journal. Write it down. Put it in your phone and write it down. And just have that there. And then go through your day and pick one symbol. It doesn't even have to come to you. It could be all of a sudden you're looking at the apples in the grocery store and you're like, I really don't feel any friggin' symbol coming to me, but I'm going to pick this friggin' apple in front of me because this stuff is pissing me off. But I'm going to pick the apple. Pick one symbol and then go and unpack it. What does it mean? What is the symbolic meaning of an apple? What does an apple mean to you? For me, I don't really like apples because they're too hard. They're not good for my teeth. They bother me. But like sensorily, when I taste an apple, oh man, I wish I liked apples. Because apples with peanut butter are just delicious. So what would that tell me in the moment? That I'm going through some difficulty and the difficulty's worth it because there's a sweet ending to that. Now, I've been doing this for 14 years, so I could pick a symbol out of my head like that and interpret it. But I'm not any more gifted than you. I am you. Okay? So I'm going to go to your questions now, but I'm going to share one more tool and technique. And if you guys are like, Marilyn, I don't know what the frick you're talking about, and none of this is going to help me, tell me that too. That's cool. I don't mind. Tell me that after the broadcast. By the way, guys, I come back to these broadcasts and I try to comment on things because I want to communicate with you. Now, my schedule is really hairy busy, but I'm really trying my best to make room. And membership is my priority because they're there, but I'm really working my best to membership and then get on my business page and Soulful Living. And if you guys aren't in Soulful Living with your guides, definitely get in there. We're going to do some live broadcasts in there next month. Let me just show that. So the other thing I did, and I want to share this with you, and I may do this myself for all of you, like do a 30-day challenge where it's just a day of, an inspirational message. Matter of fact, write in the comments if that would be helpful for you. If you would really follow it. If I created a 30-day free program, of an inspirational video or a message, 30 seconds to a minute long to hijack your life into happiness, joy, and excitement, would that benefit you? You would have to engage in it. And let me know that. So, do you guys know who Gary Vee is? I am lately in love with Gary Vee. Now, Gary Vee, let me get him for you. And then I'm going to go to your questions. I'm on here, guys. I know it's been a half hour. I am going to have to make these shorter soon, but not that much shorter. All right, let me just show you this man that he's now my new flavor of the month. He's now my apple. He's my apple. So, Gary, ton of YouTube videos. Gary calls it like it is. Gary would tell you to get the F off the fence and to stop your bitaching, but he also has a lot of love for people, and that's what I love about Gary. So, Gary is now my new mentor. Now, is he my new mentor? No, the man is worth like $160 million. But Gary is very communicative with his audience. I haven't gotten on his Twitter feed yet. And so what am I doing? What am I doing every single day? I am listening to a Gary Vee video every morning after I do my morning routine. So I've been running a lot lately. How many of you are runners? Let me know if you're runners because I'm going to start creating meditation for runners. So I'm running every day and I'm listening to a Gary Vee video. And you know what it's doing for me? He's like my mentor. Can't afford that mentor, can't afford that coach. Watch one of their videos every single day, and I guarantee you will have change in your life. Guarantee you. Andrew, thank you so much for sharing that, honey. I'm a one-man show. We're going to start making Laura do this. You're a walker. No, a walker. Okay, so I can create meditations for walkers and runners. All right, let's go to you. But let me know if self-awareness helped you. Matter of fact, do it in one post. The self-awareness. I want to hear commitment. Self-awareness. Claudia loves Gary Vee. I love him, love him, love him. We're going to have to get him on membership one day, Claudia. I don't know how I'll do that, but I'll do it. I want to know if the self-awareness tool helps you, if you understand what that means and why that's important. Oh, okay. I want to know if you're going to commit to talking to the universe every morning and if you'll commit to writing down one goal or intention And then if you can commit to one symbol a day, that's what I want to know from all of you. All right. Because last night something happened to me. I was on the tennis court. I'm always talking about the tennis court. And I was going through a fear. I haven't gone through fear in a while, but I was having this fearful friggin' moment. And I'm on the tennis court trying to practice, and man, I was sucking. And Spirit called in the angels right then and there, hitting my serves, calling in the angels, getting ready to receive, calling in the angels. I'm like, get in here, guys. Called in Gary V's energy, because you could do that. I'm going to be doing a webinar about expert guides. Called in his energy. And I was like, what do I need to do about this? Self-awareness. 1, I knew I was afraid. 2, I knew it was affecting me. 3, I called in help during a tennis game. 4, I got better. My fear went away. It was gone. It was gone. 5, drove home, put on an abundance meditation from the Hicks just to add to it, listened to it, came home, played with my dogs, sat in my backyard for a minute. It's friggin' hot here in California. 7, slept peacefully, really peacefully. Changed my mood. That's what I want to teach you. All right, I'm going to go to your things here. Sharon says she's committed to talking in one symbol a day. Love it. Yes. Adele, well, Isadora, great question, honey. It could be the same goal every single day. I would love for it to be that, because if you're picking a symbol a day, that symbol is going to speak to that one goal. So it would be great if it's the same goal. But what may happen is you pick a goal, right? And you pick a goal about finding your love, say. And all of a sudden you learn something about that. And you're like, you know what? I need to do that career thing first. So your goal may shift. Self-awareness. All of a sudden we're not in habit anymore. So that's great. The daily goal is a bit more of a challenge as there's too much and have to break it into small pieces. Thank you, Sharon, for asking this, which is not happening at the moment. Overwhelm. So the other thing, see, there's so much I want to teach you guys. The other thing I want to say to you, yes, only one goal. Sharon, you're only allowed to pick one thing right now because it's a domino effect. It's a trickling effect. How many of us want millions of things to do, right? Could be family, like, I'm sorry, I can't remember names. I'm really bad at names. Family, and the person said career was good, but family and living situation. So what you want to do is just pick one. That's it. The reason is because it's a trickling effect into all your other goals. And it doesn't matter if day 5, you're like, Marilyn, I'm working on love, but you know what? My home is so unorganized. That's got to be my goal. Self-awareness. There it is. Then you go with that. Because what happens is when you work on one goal, so right now I have a few goals, right? I have some health goals. I have career goals. I have personal goals with friendships and stuff. But I'm a little overwhelmed. I'd say my schedule's a little crazy, but I'm able to balance all those in my life. So I make sure my morning habits, my day habits are all healthy. You know, I ran this morning. I'm going to probably do yoga tonight. I did tennis last night. I ran yesterday morning. I have time to do that. I can do that. I work for myself. Then I make sure I work on my career during the day. And then my personal goals. So last night I played tennis. That's a personal goal with health. Tonight, if I go to yoga class, I'm sure I'll run into some of my yoga people. That'll be a personal goal plus health. But pick one. That's why you're stuck on the fence. Because you're like, I want to do it all. One will lead to another. Because guess what, guys? All of a sudden you're picking a health goal and you're feeling friggin' fantastic. And then all of a sudden you're like going into the store and you're like walking around talking to people. And then there's that cute chick next to you that you really want to talk to. I have to talk from a male's perspective sometimes. And then you're like, oh my goodness. And then you meet somebody else and they have this opportunity, business opportunity. You know what? You're feeling great because you're health. And it's a domino effect. And you guess what? You're off the friggin' fence. Great. All right. So let me go through some of these questions because there's been a lot here. And let me see where we started. I'm going to go back a little bit and see where some of the stuck energy was. I'm going to use people as a teaching tool, and then I'm going to go up and see where you're going. I love the commitments. I'm going to read these right away. Janet says, I will engage in the 30 days, self-awareness and commitment. Yay, Janet. So anybody, Andrew, if you're still on, honey, because you've been so sweet, share that soulful living thing again. Elizabeth, I feel like since my house is in disarray, I cannot focus on my business. Great. That's your goal. One draw a day. That's it. So many people, and I do this, I'm like, I want to take a week off and do my entire house. And then let me tell you something. I did that. Did my entire house. Guess what? Year later, got to do the friggin' house again. So I find it's easier to just do a drawer. Just do a bookshelf, right? Right. Make a list. That Marie Kondo chick, watch out for her. She's great, but I got to tell you, I throw out way too much stuff. But there's lists on Google of what she says to organize first. Print out that list and do one a day, one small thing. Just go and clean out a utensil drawer and then feel fucking good at it. Okay, Gary Vee curses a lot. I love cursing. Oh, guys, I got a tattoo. I'm going to show you soon. All right, Rebecca. My laptop heated up and died, so I may have to watch the recording. Okay, that's fine. Rochelle, I'm already journaling every morning, so I love adding gold to the entry. Great, 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 Rochelle. Let me know how that goes, sweetie. And anybody who's in membership, we're going to be adding something. I know I keep talking about my programs, but I am very proud of them. We're adding something in the beginning of every month for you guys to stay on task. Katie, if we are feeling called towards a spiritually based career, how can we come up with the time and energy to essentially work double time while building up to replace our current career? I get stuck because it seems overwhelming, like things have to get really hard and busy before they get good. Okay, Katie, first of all, you're dealing with a belief, right? So anybody, I just want you guys to see this question, read the end of it. She feels like things get really hard and busy before they get good. So Gary Vee, my new mentor, he doesn't know he's my mentor, but he is, would tell you, this is what he says. I don't care. Get home at 6, 7 o'clock at night, kiss your dog, and work till 2 a.m. in the morning. And work on it because it'll work. And you have to have patience. Now, Gary is speaking from a perspective of when he was like 30 and now he's 40 and he's got the energy of a freight train. I don't know. He's got so much energy. So it may not be, for a lot of you, you may be in your late 40s and 50s and you may not have that kind of energy. But I can tell you this, when you start working towards your passions in your career, you have energy. Because when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I was freelancing at MTV and pursuing acting. And I friggin' hated production. My friends were so good to me because I was getting paid bank working for them. And they would let me go to my acting classes. But when I was working full-time at MTV, I had no friggin' energy. I friggin' hated it. Like it was so hard, but I pushed my butt out the door to do what I was inspired by. And when I worked at NBC Olympics, same thing. I had a kick-ass big job. But I made sure at night I went to acting classes. And because of that, I was energized because I was building momentum and patience. So Katie, that can't be an excuse. So if it's a Saturday, even if you have a family, you got to pick 1 hour on a Saturday where you go to the library and you work on your spiritual career. You got to pick a half hour a night where you shut everything down. What's happening for you, honey, is you're coming home at night and you're like, I deserve to eat the friggin' ice cream and watch Hallmark movies because I'm fucking tired. But what I want you to do, Katie, instead, and you'll be more energized by this, go eat the ice cream, watch a half hour TV, then go into another room, turn everything off, and spend a half hour just learning, even if it's watching a video, if you don't have the energy to expend on it. Katie, let me know if that helps you. Everybody else who's listening, I want to know if that helps you because I need to know more of what your struggles are and where you are so I can build content for you guys and help you. All right. Nancy says she's working on losing 5 pounds. I love that one, Nancy. Reason I want to talk about weight because weight's important because I actually went up a bit in weight, like uncomfortable for me. And I was like, how am I getting first of all, okay, so I had a scale, moved it around the house. I'm like, this scale is broken. There's no friggin' way. Went to Bath and Beyond, bitched about the scale, bought another scale. Yeah, the scale's not lying. So I feel good in my body because I'm healthy and strong. And yay, Argus just signed up for Gary Vee's podcast. Good for you. So what I did was started getting conscious, right? So I love ghee. Ghee is a thing in Ayurvedic, and I'm learning Ayurvedic stuff. And I put ghee on my popcorn. It's butter. No wonder why. The pounds are coming on. I wasn't running like I used to run. I love to run. I've been a runner. So even though I was playing tennis and all this stuff, it doesn't work for me. You got to know what works for you. So I love addressing weight because we have to get conscious about it. Yesterday I was hungry and I made a snack of cheese and crackers. And I was like, it's got to be carrot sticks for a little while. And I like carrots. It's got to be bananas. Can't be cheese and crackers right now. Now, I don't believe in deprivation. I do not. I don't believe in dieting. I believe in consciousness around food for me. and consciousness around exercise. So I wanted to address food because food is a big one. And me personally, who's usually 10 pounds thinner, this is a big deal for me. So I love this, okay? Let's see who else, and then I'm going to go back up. Elizabeth says, I'm committed. I love symbols. I got off the train for a while, and thank you for getting me back on. You're completely welcome, Elizabeth, because how many of us have gotten off the train, right? But I'll tell you something, and I did a whole thing. I did a membership video about this. I can't share it because I share people's names in that. But what I basically said to them was, I'm going to tell you two things. What I said to them is, don't go down the rabbit hole. I used to fall down the rabbit hole for like 3 weeks. That doesn't happen because of awareness and consciousness. If I wasn't aware on the tennis court last night, I could have fell down that rabbit hole for a week. Not allowed, right? So then the other thing that I talked about is, so I'm in a year-long Ayurvedic yoga certification program. I'm heading into month 4. Ask me how much homework I did. None. Am I reading the material? As best I can. But when I'm there, it is life-changing. Life-changing. And my teacher knows. I told her ahead of time. She knows. I'll get the homework in when I can. Don't stop. Even if all you can do is listen to something for 30 minutes and you can't implement it, don't not listen to that thing. Listen to it when you're walking. Listen to it when you're running. I'm going to buy Gary Vee's books on audio. I love to read. I love to hold a book. But you should see, I have about 10 yoga books to read, and they're scientific. So Gary Vee is going to be in my head instead. So that's what I want. I love this. So falling off the train, guys, we don't want to beat anybody up about this. All right, Denny, woof, woof. Mindfulness, so peaceful. Denny's always sharing German Shepherd videos with me. All right, I want to see where you were struggling. Love this. You're all committing to self-awareness. I want to hear how this goes for you. So maybe what I'm going to do is a recorded video that we'll put live next Wednesday at noon. And you guys will comment. I'll ask you to comment on it. It'll be a shorter video just so we stay in the momentum. And I'm going to be at a conference, but I will comment on those when I get breaks, if I can. My brain may be a little like, but so just so you know, but I'll come back to it. Catherine says, self-awareness, commitment to talk to universe, making one intention, goal, and find a symbol. Okay, we'll do. To help avoid doing a chameleon thing, changing from one to the other, with unhealthy domino effect versus the first certain step with a positive domino effect. She got it. Did you hear her? I got to show this. I know it covers my face, but I don't care. People complained about that before. Read it. She doesn't want to be a chameleon. She doesn't want the unhealthy domino effect anymore. Love it. Cute or cool person might work to serve all genders, orientations, rather than cute chick. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to say cute or cool person. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that, Catherine. See, I wasn't self-aware there. So she says she doesn't want an unhealthy domino effect, so she's going to focus on one goal. I promise you guys, if you stick with me for the 4 weeks and we continue building on this, and you stick with that goal, and also notice when you fall off, self-awareness, you're going to be further along. You'll definitely be further along in self-awareness, and you'll probably be further along in the goal in and of itself, okay? Let me just see. I'm just going down, and I'm going to go up, and then I'm probably going to have to end soon. Okay, so Lisa, this is a good one. I think it's about getting out of your head and into your heart. I get overwhelmed and forget. Yes. So, Lisa, I think you were the one who said about the job. I don't know if you're still on. But, yeah, getting out of your head and into your heart is really super important. But that's self-awareness, too. Because if you're self-aware of what you're thinking about and the train that's running your thoughts, and you recognize that, oh, my goodness, I just went to dinner with Frank, and I can't stand Frank anymore. So why am I going to dinner with him? Because I feel guilty, or my head is telling me I have to because he's been an old friend and he helped me move that one time? Getting into your heart. So self-awareness will help you to get into your heart. All right, so I'm going to be ending soon. Okay. So, way cool person. Thank you. Amy says, I'm focusing on one goal. I feel so scattered and frustrated, and I stop and start with the flow of abundance in my business. Totally. So here's my nose, itchy. How am I able to teach you this? Because that's me. That was me. And then I hired a coach. I had to hire a coach. And they had to kick my ass into gear. bottom line, story, truth. Did the 90-day year program. Many different things that I did because I am a content vacuum. How many of you have that? I want to do this, I want to do that. Content. Oh my goodness, I want to help these people now. I want to help these people now. Oh, wait, I want to help those. Oh my goodness, but this person now. And I couldn't my business wasn't like, it was definitely staying here, but it was not feeling happy anymore because it wasn't what I really wanted to be doing. So I had to get focused. And what I do is I have an idea book and so when I'm running, I write my ideas in my phone because I won't remember them. And then I have an idea book at home that I write all my ideas about. I don't care when I look at it again. I can look at it for 6 months from now. At least I know it's in my idea book. So that's what I want to say to you. So it's really good. Helena, I really need grow and better self-esteem after 17 years of not being allowed to work for the insurance rules in Sweden. Helena, I can't. Itchy nose. Jennifer says, I get itchy nose when talking about things. Does it mean something? Yes. For me, it's about, it used to be in Brooklyn, you're going to get into a fight, but that's not it. It's probably distraction. I'm getting really focused and into it and really excited. And my thoughts are probably distracting me. Oh, we're running out, 1:45, gotta go. So it could be that. It could be allergies, but I think it's more of a mental thing. So I want to get to that question of the person in Sweden. Because of insurance rules, she can't work for whatever reason. Here's the thing I'm going to say about something like that, because many of you are coming upon can't. I'm unhealthy. I can't do this. I don't have enough money. I can't do this. That becomes your story. That becomes the thing that's going on in here. I'm not saying there isn't truth in that. They're not saying that, but there's always things that you can do. There's always things that, my cat wants to come in. There's always things that are free that you can do. So if you can't work at what you want to do, or you think you can't work, you still want to go after the things that feed your heart and feed your soul and help you to feel good. So that woman, it went away, I can't remember who it was. She said that she was struggling with self-esteem issues because the insurance in Sweden wouldn't let her work. So the thing is, then you want to work with your self-esteem issues no matter what. We never want to give power to an outside source, except if it's God. That's the only power, universe, me, that connection. That's the only power. And I know that many of you are dealing with struggles. I've dealt with struggles a lot in my life, but you can't let the struggles screw you up. You've got to do whatever you can to get out of that. And what you have to do, and many of you may have tried many, many things, start with one thing. And if that one thing is building your self-esteem, start there. My self-esteem was in the gutter. And somehow I always had a workforce thing, I think because I come from a family of workaholics. But I worked hard on my self-esteem. I worked crazy on it. She says she's doing a lot, but unpaid because I'm not allowed to earn money. Helena, I don't know what to say to that because I don't know what you're really up against. But to me, whenever I hear things like that, and I'm not saying there isn't truth in that, there's something else there that can help you to earn money. Or there's some other place to live, or there's some other red tape, or there's some other belief system that you have to give birth to that allows you to make money. Because how many of us have been hit with rules from people and we thought that was it? There was no other way. And then I know for myself, I didn't take it as a no matter what. I didn't care, did not give up about it. And then solution dropped in, things that I would have never thought about because I was stuck in the no. I'm going through one right now. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I can't do this right now. I don't have the money to do this right now. And I didn't stay there. I did not stay there. And I said, no, I'm doing it. And Spirit's going to show me a way. Solution dropped in. So again, Helena, I don't know exactly what you're going through, so I want to speak to that, but I can't do with the no's. So there's got to be a yes somewhere in that. And if the only yes is building your self-esteem, let's start there. All right, guys, I'm going to get to go soon, but I just want to see what else. Let me see if I can get one more question. Okay. I'm just trying. My idea book is partly on my blog. Yes, others are welcome to add theirs. Okay, that's fine. Here you're allowed to share your stuff. my Soulful Living, we keep that because in Soulful Living, this is what I found in Facebook groups, and actually somebody I really respect, what's her name, Jill Stanton, Screw the 9 to 5, she's closing her Facebook group because of this. When you just promote in private Facebook groups, it's not about help or support, so I don't allow it in there. I'll allow it here for a little bit, and then we'll see, but I don't want people, I want people helping people. So I'm not saying that you're not trying to do that, Catherine. I just wanted to say that. So people know that they're in my Soulful Living. They're not allowed to do that. We post once a month where you can share what you do, and that's a great place to share. Okay. So I don't know. I got off a little bit on a tangent there. So I'm not seeing anything else. Okay, so Helena says I'm going to stay with her because she keeps coming back. Thank you. In half a year, I'll become fully retired and can earn money and working as much as I want. Okay, great. So for the next 6 months, Helena, I don't want to hear this story anymore. Sorry, honey. But if you're going to hang out with me, we're going to hang out in movement. You're working on your self-esteem. You're working on what you're going to do in 6 months when you can do that. You're working on building a career now. You don't wait 6 months to build that career. You start building it now. Okay? And if I piss you off, I'm sorry, but I am no longer allowing people in my audience that are going to stay on the fence. Helena, you know I say this with love, and that's it. In bar, if you don't know how to choose a goal, what you want to do is choose a passion or choose a joy. What is going to give you joy? What's going to give you passion? So you want to start there. Helena says, okay. You want to start there, okay? So how I got to my goals, let me let the cat in. How I got to my goals is, I'll talk about baby, and then I got to go. And I want to find something else out because these have been 60 minutes. I want to know if this is too long for you guys, if 30-minute increments would be better, which I think they would be. My nose is really itchy. How I found my goals was always going towards things that I was interested in. So I never knew, I kind of knew I wanted to be an actress when I was little, but I didn't go towards it. And I went behind the scenes. So I was working at MTV, and I went to a therapist, and I was dealing with my low self-esteem, and she said, you need to take an improv class. So I took an improv class that I loved and just started taking acting classes to help my self-esteem, and then reawakened that dream inside of me and went towards it and got the lead in an off-Broadway play once I went towards it. Then I was, my psychic ability, mediumship ability was knocking me over and really driving me nuts. And I started studying that because I wanted to study it, and I really enjoyed it. And then before I knew it, I had a full-on career with it that I loved even more. And I left, I was like, I don't want to act anymore. Leave me alone. And I went to that. So you want to go towards what you're just interested in and let it show up for you. Self-awareness. So I was self-aware of what I wanted to do, and I took action and took steps. I was talking to somebody yesterday, coaching them, and they're in a little bit of a cloudy place. And we talked about it, and we got to her taking an improv class because that always made her feel really good and creative. And she knows that's going to be a door opening. For me, it was a big door opening. So that's what I would suggest you do. So I'm going to give one more tool. 60 minutes. Okay, good. I don't know that I'll always be able to do that. Jasmine, I really like this question. What are ways to build self-esteem? It's a really great question. Spending time with yourself is one of the biggest ways to build self-esteem. Elizabeth, I'm going to look at that in a second. Yeah, guys, tell me what works and doesn't work because I'm happy to hear it. Really happy to hear it. So, because I want to make this the best it can be. The best way to build self-esteem. So if any of you haven't done The Artist Way, it's a really, really, really great book. And I think I've mentioned this to you before, Jasmine, that it's a great book. And it's by Julia Cameron. And what I suggest you do with this book is do it. It's a great goal to do. It's a 16-week class, but it's a great goal to do for 30 days. Sometimes it's really, really difficult to do that book and do all the activities after. A lot of people it's one of those things. They're like, overwhelmed, can't do it. So I tell people to read the chapter and pick one or two things and just do that. There's like 10 exercises after that. So do that. It's great. But Jasmine, for me, I can only talk about what built my self-esteem. One was going to therapy, definitely, and working with someone and talking it through. Two is journaling every morning and also dealing with the things that come up and also my guides. But before all that was there, when I was dealing with my self-esteem, it was therapy, definitely. But the other thing was really spending time with myself and falling in love with myself. Because I needed to I enjoy being with myself a little bit too much these days. Like that's why I need to add more people in. But that was one of the best things for me was doing artist dates, which you will find out in the Artist Way. So I would go out with a camera and take pictures, or I would go out and take myself to a museum. I would go out and take myself to a matinee. And I fell in love with who I was. I started recognizing how I was towards other people. I started recognizing, you know, all those things, and that's it. So that's one of the ways to build self-esteem. Definitely there's tons of product out there. I would listen to, like, I love Joel Osteen. I would listen to anybody who talks about self-esteem issues, and I would read some of those books. They're escaping me right now, but I would definitely do some of that. I would also buy maybe, oh my goodness, it's so itchy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I am going to get into a fight. I hope not. One of those 365-day meditation books. Those were really helpful to me in the beginning. So I would definitely do that as well. That's some of the things. Trying to think what else. Really, thank you. They're like, shut up for a little while. They didn't say shut up. Be quiet, we'll tell you. The biggest thing that built my self-esteem was challenging myself. That's what they said, and they're right. Was doing things that I've always wanted to do, was scared to do them, but I did them. And I survived them, and that built my self-esteem. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. All right. So you guys are sharing a lot of great tools on this, which is great. I'm very, very happy for that. That makes me happy. Even if one of the tools is your own on this, I'm okay with that right now, as long as it doesn't become private messaging people and trying to get them to buy your product in a way that's not integral. I'm not cool with that at all. But I'm happy with you sharing your stuff. Okay. So itchy nose means, oh, Cynthia says, here goes an answer. Itchy nose means truth being told. Woohoo! Love it. I'll take it. Okay. Well, thank you everyone. And thank you all those guys for sharing. Like Andrew, thank you so much. I think you had a question, Andrew, and let me see if I can get to it. Post it again real quick. Thank you so much for sharing Gary V's and the Artist Way and the things that I'm saying, and even things that have helped you. Thank you so much for being my assistant on this and sharing. I'm going to grab this real quick. Catherine, I like to go shopping in my dreams or ask what if everything were going well, if I could have what I wanted. And that may be like a day in the life of backs up to the present moment. Having good friends and online support is key. Our teen son, Kaylin, passed 8 years ago. I'm so sorry. And that, yes, on my blog and his services on YouTube and news, launched me into another dimension, and trying positive ideas helped see me through along with love from above. Still new and learning lots. Catherine, that's beautiful. You took something that was so difficult and you are sharing it with people. And I know that there's people in my community, you may want to share it here, that have lost their kids. And I'm okay with it, you sharing it in the feed. Please do share what that is. So I'm so happy that you shared something that was wonderful. All right. Let me just see if Andrew put his thing, but he might be gone by now. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to do a quick video that you'll do next week as a record. It'll be live. It'll be here at 12 noon. We'll post it. You'll comment underneath it. And then I will, oh, Andrew is here. I just want to get this real quick. I had a couple. One thing is still in works. The other I am aware of, but where to start to break out. Andrew, I feel like you know where it is to break out. You've always known, and I feel like you're a little bit of switching context too sometimes. So, oops, sorry. You switch context too. You have acting, you have motivational speaking, you have teaching people. So I feel like you need to just choose one right now for 30 days and just work with that, because acting and motivational speaking to me go together. I don't know what else you've been up to, but it's very hard when you're trying to deal with a place to live, and I don't know if you're still going through this stuff, so I don't know exactly what you're going through. But I would say work with one dream. Where do you really, really, really want to be 6 months from now? And there may be 4 things packed in that. Pick one for right now. Just pick one and stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. Because that's going to get you moving, totally get you moving. Trust me. Okay, guys, love you much. And I will be speaking to you soon. Thank you so much. Do leave what works, what doesn't work for you in the comments. I'll take them or not. It depends on how I feel. But I like to hear it. And, just thank you so much. And share this video if you feel like it's going to help anybody. That would really be wonderful, because I'd like to build the audience on this page as well. Thank you so much. Much love to you. And join Soulful Living too, because like I said, we're going to be doing special stuff in there.